The G37 Coupe used to be a Nissan's premium sports platform, fast and ahead of its time, but in 2025, used prices are dropping. Most examples are rough and the aftermarket seems split. So, is the G37 Coupe still worth building in 2025? Or has it become a money pit with a VQ badge? So what exactly is a G37? Well, the Infiniti G37 is a coupe that actually was produced from 2008 to 2015. The G37 sits on Nissan's FM platform, the same one used by the 350Z, 370Z, and even the rear-wheel drive Q50. It came with the VQ37 VHR, a 3.7 liter V6 making around 330 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed automatic or a strong 6-speed manual transmission. Also came in with a 7-speed automatic transmission as well. It is rear-wheel drive, double wishbone suspension, optional LSD with the sports package, and a clean modern design. Guys, the G37 was made to be comfortable, power, and a GT style coupe. In 2025, the G37 Coupe is one of the cheapest ways to get into a modern rear-wheel drive platform. You can pick up a lot of autos from around $3,000 to $4,000. Manuals, they're going to be a little bit more on the rare side, just like the G35. They're going to sit around maybe 5 to 6, maybe even 9 grand. These G37s do hold their value quite a bit, and of course depending on the mileage, but cheap doesn't always mean good. Many of these cars have been neglected, failing electronics and questionable modifications. Guys, straight pipes, cut springs. I mean, the G37 has one of the worst reputations when it comes to modding your car. G37 platform offers solid potential for different types of builds, whether you're into street, performance, drifting, or either daily driving with style. You could come up with whole lots of different variations with the G37. Popular mods include test pipes, catback exhausts, coilovers, lowering springs, aftermarket wheels and brake upgrades, short shifter, solid bushings, and of course the popular on what majority of these people in 2025 like, the tunes. It is UpRev and EcuTech. You could either go full standalone, but those are the two most common ones, especially when you're going boosted. Something that I didn't talk about, the G35, was boosting. When you do boost the VQs, it is a whole different level. It is a whole different car, especially the VQ37 VHR 3.7. It is a whole different monster. I mean, I've seen builds hold 500 horsepower reliable. With the VQ37 VHR being naturally high revving and decently strong, the G37 can be built to compete with other modern cars, but it's not always easy or cheap. Some of the downsides that the G37 owners, or even just 3.7 VHR owners in general, a lot of the issues comes with a lot of the new sensors and all of the electronics. There's many more things that can go wrong. Common issues include failing BCMs and CAN bus glitches. The push to start system can be a little wacky. Throttle body and idle relearn issues. Transmission failures in the automatics. Guys, if you're going to go to get a G37, I highly recommend the manual transmission. These automatic transmissions, they're just prone to failing. Also, gallery gaskets. You guys already know the gallery gaskets, oil gallery gaskets. Everybody who has a VQ37 VHR already knows what I'm talking about. Working on a G37 can be frustrating, but if you're used to similar cars, even basic jobs like valve cover gaskets or sensor replacements can be tight. Guys, this engine bay is a little bit tight. It is going to be just a little bit tighter, but once you get around taking out the intakes and taking out the top plenum, the intake manifold, then you should be able to get to literally anything. Now, the biggest debate that I want to be talking about right now is the G35 versus the G37 in 2025. You know, it always comes down to the two. Both are cheap, both are rear-wheel drive, both can come in a manual transmission or automatic, whichever you please. And you know, they're both the VQ platform. The G35 Coupe, the pros: it's lighter, it's more raw, it's easy to work on, there's more DIY support online, it's a slightly cheaper entry point when it comes to getting the overall car up and going. Now, the G37 Coupe pros: it comes with more power stock, it is a better chassis and rigidity, meaning it is more stable around anything you want to throw at it. Drifting, track, time attack, it is going to be just overall a lot more stable and sturdier. It does come with updated interior and features, handles a lot better out of the box, and there's a lot more tuning options with the VVEL and higher rev limit. Guys, the VQ37 VHR is literally chef's kiss. That is one of the best engines, I think, honestly, and this is going to sound very controversial. The VQ37 VHR, it is the best V6 engine that has been released, in modern time. I think it is the best V6 engine. 3.7 liter, 330 horsepower, naturally aspirated. What more do you want from it? It holds power. If you put a turbo or supercharger or anything, it holds it. I mean, literally the best engine you can get. If you're looking for a lot more of a simpler car, a lot more of it easier to work on, definitely the G35 is a lot better for a daily drifter, or just overall, just maybe a beater that you guys want to get. If you're looking for more of like a balanced and stylish cruiser, a little bit more on the modern side, definitely the G37. It comes with more power and everything, so highly recommend the G37. Again, like the G35, there's a ton of aftermarket support. I mean, there's parts from literally any company: ISR, Tomei, Z1, Stillen, Concept Z. Let's go ahead and get into the power and the driving experience with the VQ37 VHR. It has a 7,500 RPM redline. It does carry VVEL, and it feels way more refined than a 350Z or a G35. The chassis, it is a lot more planted, guys. Like I said before, it is heavier, but because it is, the weight helps feel more stable at higher speeds and better suited for highway pulls. Guys, if you could get your hands on a G37S, I highly recommend it. You guys will not look back. You'll just get overall a lot of better suspension. Your car will feel a lot more rigid, and you get the better brakes, the Akebona brakes. Another pro with the power experience, again, you can push these stock block VHRs to 500 to 600 wheel horsepower. Later on, then you could upgrade to rod bearings or do full internals, but I mean, stock, you're going to be blowing the doors out of a lot of cars. Something that's really cool about the G37s is a lot of the G37 models, of course in the later years, actually came with backup cameras. I know that is a modern thing nowadays, but for an early 2000s car, that is pretty crazy. It's overall nice updated interior. The Bose system, guys, the Bose sound system back then, it was elite. I know nowadays a lot of these cars, they sound pretty crappy, but give the G37 and even the G35 Bose stock sound system a try. So what's common in the considerations on the maintenance side, valve cover gasket leaks are super common and annoying to replace due to the tight packaging. Another thing is the throttle body. Resets are required anytime you unplug sensors or disconnect the battery. Guys, this is the car that is starting to go towards all the electronic side, so everything's going to be needed reset, recalibrated. Timing chain guide, VVEL actuators rarely fail, but when they do, they can be expensive. Just like the VQ35DE, you're going to have oil leaks, you're going to have things, especially if you buy it from a young kid that's been taking it to a takeover or drifting or anything. It's going to leak, dude. It's going to leak. The interior is going to be cracked, dash, everything. So you're going to be having to do a lot, but it is up to you. If you're buying a G37 for $6,000, that's just what it is. That's what you're going to look into. You're going to be looking to restore the interior, restoring the maintenance, restoring the engine bay, fixing all the oil leaks, and even suspension noise, guys. Suspension noise is common on these cars. So just like the G35, how the G35 compares to the 350Z, the G37 compared to the 370Z is literally the exact same. It's literally the exact same except back seats. So you're getting a 370Z with back seats, luxury Bose sound system, and just overall a lot more comfortable interior. So that's up to you to decide if you want to go on the G37 route or the 370Z route. Me personally, I highly recommend the G37. So with the VQ37 VHR, the sound is a lot better than the VQ35DE. It's more aggressive on the top end rather than the DE. It's still raspy if you cheap out on cheap resonators, or if you don't get the right diameter in the pipe. If you guys run a X pipe, just like I said before with the G35, you guys will be just fine. or even just get high flow cats, guys. Don't get non-resonated test pipes. Get high flow cats, way better. Your car will sound just a lot better. It won't sound like that tin can sound that everybody hates. That's what sucks about the VQ platform. It gets all the hate of the loud exhaust. If you're looking to get branded exhaust, Motordyne makes good exhaust. Tomei, ISR, the Infiniti series also makes very good exhaust. Tons of different ways that you could go about it. You could go to custom exhaust, or you could go branded exhaust. That's literally up to you and your budget. Now, I think it's truly still underrated. Yes, the G37 is common on all these takeovers and cutting up videos and stuff, but the G35 and the 350Z, unfortunately, they are still the star of the takeover scene and the budget drift car scene. So the G37, I believe it's still on the low key side, which you could usually find them a little bit cleaner. Fewer have been crashed and modded to death. Of course, you will still find, those G37s that have cut springs and, just over a ride style. And so it is a lot more daily drivable, I believe, because the interior is a lot more spacious than the G35. We have a G37, both channels. We have a G37 and a G35. So I've been driving both. I tend to lean towards more the G37. So one of the things that I would possibly say why you should get a G37 in 2025, and it is because it is still a lot cheaper than a 370Z or a Q50. 370Z or Q50 3.7, it's still going to run you about 10 to 15K. But the G37, you could pick them up all day, 5 grand, 4 grand, 6 grand, even 7 grand. And, most of the time, if you could find the manual, I would just go ahead and jump on that. So definitely, it is a good alternative if you're looking for a 370Z, but you can't really get one right now, but you like the VQ37 VHR engine, just get the G37, do a couple mods, and I'm telling you guys will not look back. The G37 also still turns heads today, guys. Whether you guys like it or not, the G37 Coupe is still one of the most stylish coupes in today's car market. You could build a G35 today, but people will still say it's a little outdated. But when you build a G37 Coupe, then you guys will know it's a little bit more updated and it looks a lot more aggressive. And that's what we want in 2025. Something that I didn't mention, and it is very frustrating across the whole VQ37 VHR platform, it is the G37 manual transmission, guys. Specifically the internal slave cylinder. Nissan decided to put the clutch slave cylinder inside the transmission bell housing instead of outside like they did on the older platforms. Which, yes, sounds cool in theory, but in reality, it is a nightmare when it fails. Since it's inside the trans, the only way to fix it is by dropping that whole transmission, guys. Something I didn't mention, the VHR does run hot, guys, especially if you guys are in Florida or a little bit in the hotter climates. So adding an oil cooler and upgraded radiator is a must if you're pushing power, especially and honestly on any car. Upgrade your radiator, add an oil cooler. There's been so many cars that I've seen in person that they don't run an oil cooler on a turbocharged vehicle. What are you thinking? It's just common sense, but apparently I guess not. But guys, for the VHR, get an oil cooler, upgrade that radiator, and you guys will literally have a peace of mind on just daily driving it, ripping it through the streets, doing their toge runs, doing whatever you guys do. Just don't associate and take over, guys. I want to, honestly, you know what? I want to be able to stop takeovers. By the end of the year, I want the takeovers to be on a decline by 50%. If you guys can help spread the message and stop takeovers, guys, that'll be great. Guys, the G37 scene has grown massively. You've got dedicated Discord groups, Reddit threads, forums, Facebook pages, and entire YouTube channels focused on the VHR platform. You could literally search up anything you need and it'll be there on Google, TikTok, Instagram, forums, anything you guys need, there will be something on the VHR. So is the G37 Coupe still worth building in 2025? Well, I would say yes, but ultimately that comes up to you. If you're after a car with real performance potential, solid aftermarket support, and a driving experience that's still engaging today's world of boring daily drivers, then yes, it absolutely is. It's still not the cheapest platform to mod, it's not the easiest car to work on, but if you want something that feels balanced, looks modern, and has all the bones to support real power, the G37 Coupe delivers. You've got a strong engine, a proven transmission, a stiff chassis, and enough comfort to daily, but enough rawness to keep it fun. And with prices falling and parts support growing, 2025 might be the best time to pick one up. Drop a comment below. Would you build a G37 in 2025? Or would you go with something else, maybe a G35, 350Z, or even a BRZ? And if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're into real world builds and honest car content and projects that don't require $1 million shops. Whether you're building one now or thinking about buying one, remember this. It doesn't have to be the fastest, the rarest, or the most expensive car out there. It just has to be yours. And the G37 Coupe, that's a place to start.